We out here.
No.
SpongeBob, Johnny Bravo kicking by the beach bar. DJ making.
What was that?
It was a
break.
thumbtack. It was okay. So I have this Mario Easter egg that I was keeping thumbtacked inside of it. That Red Bull did a number on me, bro.
Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back
to the show. Welcome back to the show. We've gone back to the list, the almighty list of.
We don't have news right now. I'm very concerned that I just spilled thumbtacks everywhere, and I'm going to stand up and impale myself. Anyways, we went back to the list.
Yeah, we went back to the list, and we want to chat a little bit about one of the most bizarre and complete out of the blue Nickelodeon events that happened last year, I think, or was it very early this year?
I listed like 3 topics before we started the episode, and you didn't actually tell me which one we're doing. So are we talking about Rugrats?
Yeah. So Rugrats in Game Land.
No, it wasn't. It was not this year. It was
early last
year.
It was
last year. Yeah.
So Rugrats in Game Land is possibly one of the most bizarre things I think I've ever seen just randomly appear out of the blue. Of just, hey guys,
who made it?
We just cancelled our Rugrats reboot series.
Did that? Maybe they made it as a. Could they have made it as like a tie-in for that? Because I feel like that's what the Patrick Star game was. It was like supposed to be tied into the show that took way too long. Who made it? It's got a 7 out of 10 on Steam.
That's a much higher score than I would give it. Damn.
The Media Indie Exchange and Wall Ride.
But it was one of those like just releases that just came out of nowhere.
Did Limited Run reveal it?
Maybe.
Every time I say something, you pause, and I feel like you're just like, shut the up. I'm so self-conscious. I'm like, he hates me, bro. I'm so annoying.
15 episodes in, I'm done.
I remember thinking this looked so freaking, especially because you could switch between the 2 styles.
So, firstly, obviously, it's a 2D platformer. In what is this Mario 3 style?
No. I mean, if anything, I would say
with the
more
throwing
like Mario 2 was the one where you threw stuff a lot. That's what I was about to say. Is I would, if any, and I'm a gaming historian, you guys. Did you know that Mario Brothers 2 wasn't Mario Brothers? It was Donkey Panic. It was Doki Doki Literature Club.
I was just thinking that. So you've played a fair chunk of this. I haven't played very many 2D platformers in a long time.
I never got through the Reptar door that we just saw there, but yeah.
No. What were your kind of thoughts on it?
Well, the first thing I noticed was the plant was in the game, and I don't know if you remember my Rugrats Royal Ransom review, but the plant was very pivotal to my experience with that game.
Personally, though, pushing this plant around like a maniac is all the incentive I need. After all that complaining, I need a plant break. Make sure you're constantly collecting every coin, and also don't forget to check in on plant. It gets lonely. And at the end of the day, there's a plant you can push around. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
So,
is that why you posted a screenshot of that?
Yes.
I was confused.
I enjoy it quite a bit, to be honest. Like, I'm not really one for 2D platformers typically.
Yeah.
It was really more in the style of like an 80s game, I would say. Like,
yeah,
I mean, late 80s, but Rugrats was like 90s. It's interesting to see a game in this it's interesting to see a game in this franchise at all. Like you said, it was so out of left field, but to see it in this style was quite interesting. And
yeah,
maybe even
and it's
more
not like it's minimum effort. Like doing the whole 2 art styles, all that type of stuff. Like that's some fairly. That's not like they're just trying to put out some slop.
All of that is clearly hand drawn, and it's clearly not done by the original people.
No.
It really is very artistic, and like they tried to like draw it like an episode of the show. I mean, we just saw those cutscenes with her running the cup along the playpen there. Everyone looks a little bit off. That's what I will say, but that's not necessarily a bad thing, especially if you're playing the 8-bit version.
Yeah, and I think if you go back to some of the Rugrats games that were releasing around that time as well, like the more classic Rugrats games, they all look pretty weird as well. Like none of them look
Well, I mean,
exactly right.
People like to say 2D does not translate well to 3D. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I feel like with the Rugrats especially, they just look misshapen in 3D for sure.
Yeah, well, so I've played probably about half of the game. I played it with my wife. We did it in co-op. And it was a pretty fun little... So it's very short. Like, it's... This guy beats it, the video we've got in the background, this guy beats it in under an hour.
Yeah.
Me and Danae took us probably about 3 hours to get about halfway in. Because it's quite hard. I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky.
Oh, yeah.
Most people I know don't have wives that care at all about their hobbies, let alone are also
I have never met your wife. I've never spoken to Danae, but she seems like a lovely one. So you never finished it?
No. Well, Danae and I we played for about 3 hours of it, and then we were getting so like snappy with each other. We were like, this is too hard, and this is like making us aggravated at each other. Let's have a break.
I would
and we went and played Genshin.
Absolutely. This is the kind of it's like you watch people play like new Super Mario Brothers together and want to rip each other's heads off. This is exactly that kind of experience for sure.
So we loved it for the first hour, and then after that, it was like, let's have a break.
It was hard. It's designed like an NES game. It was hard. You can go like every time you die, you can play as another baby, and then once you've gone through all the babies, then you have to start over or whatever. And I started over a lot when I played.
Yeah, and there is an easy mode. There is an easy mode that means you don't have to start over.
But I am a real gamer. I am not a scrub.
Is that also why you beat the game?
Oh, I didn't beat the game.
Oh, really? Real gamer out here.
Yeah. No, honestly, it's just because I haven't gone back to it yet. I was playing it just one random afternoon, and I played a good few hours of it, and I was like, I really like this game. The music is fantastic. That was one thing I was going to point out, is the music is great. These blocks really tripped me up a little bit. I didn't understand fully what they were at first, that I needed to use them I had to throw them and pick them up.
Yeah.
Mario 2.
I do think it's interesting playing, a harder game. Like I've played a good chunk of Elden Ring. I've played a good chunk of those types of things. They're completely different.
Sure this was the
hard
level
games are completely different.
I'm pretty sure this was one of the levels that screwed me. I hate those freaking birds, dude. Screw those birds.
Screw those birds, dude.
This is the Dark Souls of Rugrats games.
Well, it's interesting because for me, did you play many other Rugrats games back in the day?
I honestly think it was just Rugrats Royal Ransom and maybe some like Flash games. I don't know.
So I played Castle Capers a lot. Castle Capers was
that the...
So Castle Capers...
Was that the GBA?
It was GBA one. And it was based on like little fairy tale stuff.
Right, I think it came out alongside Royal Ransom, did it not? Wasn't it kind of supposed to be like the GBA version of Royal Ransom?
Well, it could have been. It could have been, yeah. I thought Royal Ransom had its own GBA version.
No, it doesn't.
No? Okay.
I'm pretty sure this came out alongside it, and it was kind of like the version at the time.
Yeah.
Because Royal Ransom
to give you
had...
an image... Yeah, sorry?
I was just going to say, Royal Ransom had a lot of like castle theming.
It's very similar imagery, yeah, isn't it?
I think that was intentional. Anyway.
But to give you an idea, this was my hiding in my bed way too late at night with my DS game. This was my game, my version of that. Of this and Lego Star Wars on the DS.
For sure. For me, that was I had my moment with Lego Star Wars with that, but Volcano Island was one that I stayed up late a lot in bed and played.
I had
also Creature from
Attack of the Toy Bots on DS.
There's so much I could say about Attack of the Toy Bots, but I'll save that for a future video.
I haven't played the in a long time, or the real version of it, like the console
Wii,
version.
I believe I rented it on Wii, but anyways. We were just talking about how Rugrats translates to 3D kind of weird. I do not like the way Tommy looks in this game that is on the screen.
No.
He's creeping me out a little bit, and I don't know why, but I like this level. This is very Castlevania-esque. Little
Yeah,
Kingdom
yeah.
Hearts-esque.
And what's really cool, like I really like the whole like gameplay mechanic of to beat the level, you have to go around and collect all of the other babies, and they follow behind you, and they kind of change the platforming a little bit. So that's really fun.
I might have to go play this.
It's heaps of fun. I really enjoyed it. It's what made me get what made me interested in Gameland, because it looked really similar. And realistically, it is very similar.
It's Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep coded. The new trend for the for the podcast is I'm going to bring up Kingdom Hearts every single episode.
I'll compete by bringing up Persona.
Or one of those books you've mentioned like 5 times.
Which one?
Not 5 times. I think you've talked about the I have no mouthing, but I must scream like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I should probably actually like read it, shouldn't I? I just know the author and one of the monologues from it. Because it's turned into like a TikTok book, and I'm like, I fucking hate anything associated with TikTok. So I'm just like, I know the author, I know some of the imagery in it. I refuse to go any further into it.
My Rugrats, clips on TikTok performed quite well. A lot of people thought the Royal Ransom was a fever dream that they had.
Hey,
which I feel like
well,
is a common experience with licensed games, was people are just like, that was real? I didn't make that up in my head.
I have that with the Ratatouille game. Oh. I'm not sure if some of the stuff that I saw in that game really happened. I quite enjoyed Rugrats in Gameland. I didn't enjoy it enough that I think I'll go back and finish it, but it was a good fun 3 hours. It was very expensive. It was like $50 here in Australia for what it was.
I'm gonna go back eventually, and I feel like Limited Run was very intrinsically tied to this game for some reason. I don't know why. I remember they actually released an NES cartridge of the game. It only had the NES version of the game on it. But I believe it ended up being a disaster where the cartridges like fried NESs or something. Ooh. I could be spreading a little bit of misinformation there. I don't remember. I know there was they might have been melting, or they just didn't work. Something was wrong with them. And it was a whole big thing, like a controversy. Which, I mean, Limited Run is not limited on their controversies, so
I've never heard of them before.
They started out, as their name implies, doing very limited runs. Like they would take pre-orders for like a few days. Sometimes it was like you could they would only sell like 100 or 1,000. Now they do open pre-orders for all their stuff, but you can only do it for so long. They'll do a lot of like collector's editions for games, but it's like they're taking games that were only released digitally in most cases on like Switch or PS4 or now PS5, and they are the ones to release a physical copy. So like I've bought Hitman Blood Money from them because that was only released digitally. I've bought Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 from them. Games like that. What is this that we're looking at right now?
This is one of the PC Rugrats games. This was a Chester classic.
It's very.
Rugrats.
I was about to say I'm intrigued. I've never heard of this.
It's really good. But it's literally all like this. It's like full on.
I'm one of the good babies, helping to keep the Krabs in playground
His face
safe.
is so misshapen. His eyes are so big, and his mouth is so small.
I hope they was coming to see me. I have some bad
This
news.
is so like.
Someone's trying to frame Madame Lil. I didn't know why someone would want to hang Madame Lil on a wall. All I knew is that they shouldn't.
Is this point and click?
A little bit. But it's more of this type of stuff. So you go around and do like little mini games. You talk to people that want different things.
I was gonna say,
and you get them stuff for them.
Hey, isn't that the girl from the cowboy episode? It is so very what is their name? Humongous Entertainment-esque.
I know the name. I can't put a picture to any of their games.
Freddy Fish, Putt Putt, Spy Fox.
Yes.
The backyard sports games, like the cutscenes specifically feel so reminiscent of that to me.
Yeah, and it's a lot of this type of little like mini game stuff. But there's a question. So we've gotten a SpongeBob game, a Rugrats game. I don't know what the sales numbers really were for it, and how popular really Rugrats is at the moment.
Adventure, I think it actually did surprisingly well, because I know a lot of people. Because like SpongeBob was our generation. I feel like this was very much targeted at like millennials or even like late Gen X.
Yeah, well, I think it's interesting because it's one of those things of, I think I would classify Rugrats Royal Ransom in, like it's like top top 3 to top 5 of the best 3D Nickelodeon games.
You and I very much share that opinion. I feel like that is a hot take in our community. I feel like most people think that game is not that great.
Right. But I feel like, you know, it's on that type of level. I'm just wondering if we'll ever get more Rugrats content and stuff that's more... Maybe, like, would we ever get a 3D platformer again? Because it's not like there's any media out there right now that's like, oh, we need to capitalize on this Rugrats success.
I had my... You and I think we talked about it back then, but I had my fingers crossed so hard around the time of the reboot that they would do a remake of Royal Ransom. And that did not come to pass, unfortunately.
Well, there's still, because they got the right... I'm just a little bit aware of all this because our latest investigation is on it a little bit. But they got the rights from Nickelodeon for about 18 different medias that they got permission to make stuff for. But what I find interesting is, like, we were talking about it back then, but it's like, I feel like that's prime real estate, because obviously they've paid for the licenses for all that. Like, the deals have been made for all that. To do like a Rareware style collection, there's no way you could make money doing
even
all
just
those
emulate
as standalone.
You don't even have to remake it. Just emulate them. Do a TAC collection. I haven't played those games, but I'm sure people would buy. And let's be real, we need a Barnyard remake. No. What happened to that guy? Is he still kicking?
No, I don't go on Twitter.
Fair. That's fair.
But no, I've just been thinking about it just a little bit. I'm just like, man, it would be so cool to see more stuff of that. Like, I love... I'll pull it up as well.
Truly, I just want so many of these games just emulated. Like, I wish they were on, like, NSO or something. Like, I just want to be able to play the original versions. But, like, with Rugrats specifically, and this is also the case with, like, Piglet's Big Game, I just feel like a remake... To see all those worlds and levels, like, in a modern art style, like Spyro Reignited trilogy, like, I want that so badly, and I'm never gonna get it, and it makes me cry at night. Like, the jungle level, monkey business, I want to see those monkeys redesigned in HD.
Or even, yeah, just, like, with a really good emulation, and, like, really great anti-aliasing.
That is the problem, is those games look not terribly good, and... on your typical emulator, they would have to do some kind of scaling.
Absolutely.
Is this
and
the same
like
game?
Or
is this a different?
No, this is Rugrats Go Wild.
It looks like it was done by the same people, probably.
Probably, yeah. Listen, dude, we're going to be covering all this over the we need investigation content.
I'm intrigued. I've never seen these games before. I didn't even know they existed. Especially
these are the games that I
mystery
played. This
one.
was like most of it. This was most of my stuff as a kid. Very little time did I spend on the PlayStation. It was mostly playing these PC games. Well, because I also think, like, we've talked about this a few times, of like the landscape of the Nickelodeon space at the moment is there's a bit of a drought. And I think it's because everyone's covered all the big 3D platformers to death.
There is, and
look, he just hit that
Yeah.
monkey. He's sniping that monkey.
that is
Look
the
at
thing
him.
I noticed.
Bam!
I was thinking this earlier today, actually. It's like nobody ever talks about... You never see a big review about SpongeBob Drawn to Life, or like any of the DS SpongeBob games or any of that. Or at least not ones that go viral. And I'd be curious, like, throughout the course of this channel to, like, go back and cover some of those more obscure games like this, or...
Yeah, definitely. I think that's my personal interest at the moment, is either covering like those bigger 3D platformers but with actual content to them that's like, this is new information or a new
that's the
perspective on it, or covering these types of things and actually giving light to what AWE Games is like, giving light to what these developers are like.
You and I have talked about it. I don't know if we've talked about it on the show, but it's like, since I started on YouTube, I've been asked to cover Battle for Bikini Bottom, because people want to know development information. But I've never been able to...
Big monkey! He's f***ing the big monkey!
Monkey business! Monkey business!
Killing
He's
him!
taking his revenge!
The guy doesn't know that they can spam the throw button and kill this guy in literally 10 seconds.
There was
before
stuff I knew about.
gets to-
There was stuff I screwed up in my Royal Ransom review where I was just an idiot and didn't do it right. People have been like, do a Truth or Square video, do a movie game video, do a Battle for Bikini Bottom video, and it's like, I don't know anything about Heavy Iron. Like I can trace back their origins, but I don't know. I can't find anything about the development of the games, and so I have never done the video. But then I feel like at one point you told me, you know, it's like maybe you don't need to bring anything new. Maybe you just give your own perspective on it. But you just described how I feel about it is I don't really want to cover the big stuff. Unless
I think it's just the difference between a review and a documentary. Like if we were going to do a documentary, I feel like the only instance I would ever be interested in talking about the movie game or Bikini Bottom is if we could sit down with a developer on the show first and talk with them for an hour and get video clips to go with it of them. I
think we could make it happen, especially the two of us combined. I know of people who talk to like Beta 64, but I have not had much luck reaching out to hearing back from anyone from Heavy Iron for some reason. I'm starting to realize if I want to get anywhere with a lot of these cases, I'm gonna have to be an annoying like most actual journalists. I'm gonna have to bug people over and over and over until I get what I want. But I'm not coded that way. I am very scared of people getting mad at me. But if I want content, I think I'm gonna have to.
You're gonna have to be that guy.
Yeah. The hippos.
Be that guy. The hippos.
I hate this level.
There's the monkey. There's the monkey. Oh yeah, you've played the actual game. I've only ever played the baby mode.
I've beaten this game on every mode, and the hard mode.
Do you ever occasionally? I've had this occasionally as well. But do you ever occasionally be like, man, I wish I just had normal hobbies and normal interests. Why can't I just play the new FIFA game or something?
I have a lot.
Battlefield 6 or like.
I have a lot of hobbies. I've played me some Call of Duty in my day. I follow.
Which Call of
American,
Duty? Which one?
Mostly like in the. I think my favorite one was Ghost, but like Black Ops. Yeah, I know that. I know that's a hot take. But I loved Ghost.
To be fair, I loved Advanced Warfare. I played the hell out of Advanced Warfare.
Yeah, I think that was about where I fell off. I started following the NFL a few years ago, so I have normie hobbies as well, but. I don't know, like
between that, I'm busy playing through the SpongeBob, the Rugrats game on hard mode.
Creatively, this is the kind of thing that drives me. Like,
let's go.
Football shooters, Call of Duty shooter man, doesn't particularly make me feel creative.
Well, you're not coming out here being like, I want to make a documentary about Call of Duty Ghosts and why it wasn't as good as.
I mean, I
could.
Like, I wouldn't. I've thought about like doing ones about like Hitman, which is a little bit more normie, maybe. Well, now it is. It didn't used to be. So there are some documentaries I would like to make that are not at all in my niche, but I haven't made them because it's like, I mean, nobody's gonna watch them, and I'm gonna spend a lot of time on them.
But yeah, no, it's just like it's interesting to me the world of Rugrats games. I feel is so much less explored.
Yeah, I feel like the conversation about Gameland has kind of spun out into just. I don't feel like people talk about Rugrats games very much. It's mostly SpongeBob games, maybe Rugrats Royal Ransom, like me. Like I did that one video, and I know other people have done videos about that. But I've never heard of half the games you've showed me today. So
yeah, I'm really excited to maybe chat about that in the future and make some.
Or that all grown up game that you had in that video. I didn't know that was a thing.
What's and
This is so mismatched. I feel like maybe I've seen
that is like Nicktoons basketball.
I know I've seen like a Nicktoons bowling thing, I feel like, but I don't know that I've ever seen the basketball one.
This is from cartoony gameplay. So you literally would build a team of people. Now, my core memory of this is it literally bricking our PC. But beyond that,
it was PC only.
It's PC. Yeah, it's PC only. Sorry.
Which is weird for a basketball game of all things. This looks so clunky and slow.
Yeah. Somehow I missed it. Have you played Nickelodeon the party game they made, the Nicktoons?
I know of it.
Blast Out.
I know of it. I never played it. I remember, Mr. Jephthah's doing a video about like GBA games, and I feel like there might have been a GBA version of that. And he was asking me if he should also include Nicktoons games, and I was like, you're already gonna have too many games to talk about as far as SpongeBob goes.
Yeah.
So I told him, no, save that for another video. And he's already gotten to the point where he's like, I'm never doing a multi-game video ever again. So.
Yeah, I see some of those videos that are like 20 minutes long, and they're like, I played every Harry Potter game ever. And I'm like, okay, so you're going to spend 10 seconds on the game I care about.
That's one thing that really bothers me about like the way Ant Dude does things nowadays. I don't know if you've ever watched an Ant Dude video, but he really just glosses over everything. And it's
yeah, I see the compilations, and I'm just like, it kind of irritates me a little bit. I don't know Ant Dude, I don't watch any of this stuff, but it's just like, I feel like this has just removed any mystique or interest from the conversation, because now everything's covered, everything's shown.
Whereas
there's no like discovery, there's no information.
That's kind of the thing that I go so in depth nowadays. I started out trying to be kind of like, here's the first level and some random thoughts about the game and just a vague description of the rest of it. Play the game. And nowadays I'm like, I feel like it's for me. I want to go as in-depth as possible. Oh, Cat Dog's in this.
Yeah, they're the presenters. I think it comes from a sense of, for me, I also think it comes from a sense of being an actual adult around the stuff. When time is valuable and all that, we have the desire to actually learn something when we are uncovering or like going to spend our time to invest in a video or something. We want to come out having learnt something, and I think it comes the same way of when we're wanting to make stuff. We want to teach people stuff now. It's that desire to make time a little bit more worthwhile.
Well, that's the thing though, is like, am I making people's time worthwhile? I'm literally going through the entire game and telling them how it works. But
I mean, like,
I enjoy.
If you think it's worthwhile enough for you to enjoy it, then I think it's
it's part of. I mean, I feel self-conscious about it, but personally, like, I don't know. I love it. I don't know. It's more. It's good for me personally.
This?
And I mean, I feel all self-conscious about it, but there are people who make like 48-hour videos about iCarly, so I feel like I'm pretty tame in comparison. I'm gonna watch Billiam's however long video going through the entirety of Lost. I've never watched that, but I'm not actually gonna go through that. But I'm saying, like, it's kind of the same idea, except I'm very far on the other side of the spectrum, so I shouldn't feel that bad about it. But it's like, I don't know. Some people complain, and it gets under my skin.
But I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of this type of stuff that would be really fun to talk about. Just like, I've searched this up, and there's a few videos of people playing it, some things of like entire gameplay. Yeah, there's not one singular deep dive video.
I think something we could experiment with. And it's something that I brought up to Jephthah and Pladley as far as the Nintendo podcast that just constantly doesn't work out. Doing like kind of like a book club. We should try doing like a book club style episode where we go back, play through a game for a month, and then come back and like have an in-depth discussion about the game. Like,
the model I've always liked and the model I've always wanted to do, it's just tricky. It's a lot more investment at the start, because you have to start off with people not being interested really at all, and it takes like a few months of work of basically doing it for yourself. But to play games on live stream, and so you're getting the gameplay through that, and you're documenting your entire learning process and all that stuff, and then doing a documentary at the end, which is like a full deep dive of everything. And you're like, if you want to see like my process of learning everything about this game, I have like 3-4 hour live streams of the entire game from last month. Type of thing. That's the model I've always liked.
Yeah, and we've talked about that.
Aspired for.
If I look confused, it's because I'm watching the gameplay, the footage here.
Yeah, the gameplay's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we tried to do that, and then the only stream we've done was a bit of a disaster.
Guys, these are just.
But you don't just make custom. Good. You can make a car. But we need to sit down and plan out another stream, and then actually like start like an hour or two in advance, like just getting all the technical bugs worked out, making it so that the volume isn't at max while we're trying to.
Yeah. Or just one person playing the game and the other person, either it's a solo stream with one of us or the other person kind of jumping on and like chatting through it.
Right, we don't need to play it. You know, we tried to do the thing where we pass off the controller. We don't even need to do that. I could just sit here and watch you play a game. But yeah, we need to do more streams. What are we looking at?
No,
now?
I definitely think so. This is God's Doom.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Look
the
at
art
Squidward
style.
looks so middle-aged there. He looks like an actual middle-aged man there.
Doesn't even look like Squidward.
Not,
I don't know
not
what
like
that
a video,
is.
like a fucking cartoon character. He looks like
His
an angry
nose
man.
isn't droopy enough. Gugon. I don't know why I said that. It just popped into my head. I think that's part of the reason I never played this game. Is the models are all very like the art style is very off-putting to me.
Yeah,
that
it's in
Patrick
that
don't
early
look,
2000s.
that
Oh!
Patrick don't look right. That Jimmy Neutron don't look right.
Why is Patrick so tall?
It's not even early 2000s. It's just
just bad.
off. it's like, whoa, that was an animation.
They chose the weirdest characters to be involved in this one. It is so weird.
Wasn't Tack in this one?
Yeah, and Beautiful Gorgeous. Yeah, there's Danny. Yeah.
Oh, that's something I was going to bring up that I guess is relevant since we're talking about Nicktoons games. Second to last Dice of Destiny character reveal was Danny Phantom.
Yeah, I saw.
And I actually care.
Yeah, I do care about that one. It was,
Oh my gosh, that Patrick
The
model is
eyelids!
almost...
The eyelids!
That Patrick model is almost as bad as the one from the demo.
What I think people have discovered is we're using this episode as like a planning episode. This is like a behind the scenes
Sort of,
episode.
yeah.
I reckon what we should do is we should make another document on top of our current episode document and list like a bunch of the kind of more obscure games that we're really like interested in. PC ones, GBA, whatever, that we could then stream and then make investigations from. Because the issue with a lot of these kind of more obscure games is there isn't amazing emulated high quality footage out there, which is what I would want if we were doing a big investigation.
I'd like to do one on
proper footage.
The Nicktoons series isn't necessarily like obscure, but I feel like it's one that I would want to do something like that for.
I have less experience with the GBA DS world, realistically.
I
but
have
more of the PC stuff, and that's my big
some
interest,
experience
really.
with the DS world, but not with the GBA world. So I'd be interested in going back through.
He's so shiny.
Why has he got such a sheen? Why is he sweating so bad?
Why is man's so big?
That's what she said. Random and off topic, but also sort of on topic. I was thinking, let's read some comments specifically because I wanted to talk about how
Sure, yeah.
Rugrats 91, friend of the show, he mentions, and we actually already knew this before he commented this. We Trester discovered it afterwards. Apparently, it's not in the trailer itself, which is why we didn't catch it.
Yeah.
It's like a promotional image that Mindy is actually in a screenshot. Princess Mindy from the SpongeBob movie.
Princess Mindy.
Because in the video we did a couple weeks ago now, you saw an article that said it was SpongeBob Titans of the Tide was bringing back a character from the movie that hasn't been brought back before, blah blah blah, and we thought they were talking about Neptune.
Because the image was King Neptune
Is this still Globs of Doom?
on the article. So yes, look what I was doing. Yeah.
The crab guy from Volcano Island was in Globs of Doom.
Yeah. They're all interconnected, man. It's the same lore.
It turns out, and I made a joke. I was saying, I was like, Mindy? Because, like, that's the first character that I think of.
Yeah.
Turns out she is in Titans of the Tide. I don't know in what capacity, if it's just, like, she appears on screen or what. Rugrats pointed this out to us. He talks about how he doesn't think that she'll probably speak or
No, it would
if
just be
she
a
does, it
background
won't
thing.
be Scarlett Johansson, blah, blah, blah.
Definitely not.
And I think that's probably true, but then I mentioned to you when we found out, because even like looking at the picture,
Are some of these characters as well? Like I feel like I recognize the blue one
Yes.
from
Pull up the picture and
Crash of the
yeah,
Titans.
it's yes,
His mother.
that's his mother. I don't know about the other two, but that one on the side is definitely his wife. But there's some weird implications here, as far as like, first of all, obviously, the Neptune in the movie and this Neptune are not the same Neptune.
No.
And so I was telling you on Discord, I was like, this brings up so many lore complications within the SpongeBob universe.
It does.
Because the way, if she's in this shot, that means they're implying that she's his daughter. Also, especially because if that is his wife and she's standing next to the wife, it feels like they're saying that she's Neptune's daughter, which, I mean, like, I guess it makes sense, but they're not the same Neptune. And
Unless she wasn't in the movie. This is Neptune 1. Neptune 2 gets overthrown by...
Well, he's not. That's what...
by balding Neptune. And takes Mindy as his daughter.
I think it's in the Krusty Hotel episode, which was post-movie. They actually gave that version of Neptune a number.
So you're all taken care of.
Just one teensy tiny problem. This room is hideous. Redesign it. Neptune the 14th will be nice.
What?
He was Neptune the something or other. And I think that was because there was the other Neptune in the movie that was not the same Neptune.
What was do you remember the Spongehenge episode or something like that, where they're arguing? It's one of those types of arguments where there's like Neptune. They're talking about who's the king of the sea, and it's like, no, Neptune's not the king of the sea. This other guy's the king of the sea, and it's what's the other mythological sea god?
Poseidon?
Yeah, it's like, no, Neptune's not king of the sea. Poseidon's king of the sea.
Neptune stirred up quite a gale tonight. He must be mad about something.
That's silly. Everyone knows Poseidon is ruler of the undersea. My leftovers!
No! Why, dear Neptune?
And then Poseidon was in the third SpongeBob movie. He was like another separate god.
That's right. Which they kind of just do the same thing over and over.
Yeah, the exact same, yeah.
That figure, but yeah.
Oh, no.
Holy frick!
It's someone's fursona.
I believe you mean Mersona?
It's a Mersona. Wait, what? Princess Mindy's in the show as well. What?
What episode is that? Well, you know SpongeBob's become so self-referential.
That's true. SpongeBob's Big Birthday Blowout cameo. She is seen entering SpongeBob's house in season 12. And then once again in... she's a picture of her in season 13.
They bring back Bubble Bass all the time. They brought back Nosferatu in the Camp Coral show.
Here's just
the shriveled up old woman from the chocolate episode.
Do you care about SpongeBob anymore?
No.
As a show? No.
As a show, to be honest with you, I don't even really watch old episodes that often anymore. I've been watching these VHS tapes, but it's become more of a thing that I look back on fondly from my childhood and not something that I actively consume.
I honestly look back on the games and am more interested in the video games
exactly
than the show at all.
I am very invested in the games. I don't really care about the source material anymore.
Because you've got stuff like Jimmy Neutron, Hey Arnold, and all that are shorter, higher quality in general. They're like I'm in a Nickelodeon mood. I'll go and watch some Hey Arnold. I'll go watch some Jimmy Neutron. I'll go watch like stuff like that.
Honestly, I don't watch a lot of cartoons anymore. To be honest, like I just.
Me and Danae tried to do Sunday morning cartoons together. We tried to have breakfast and watch like some cartoons on Sunday mornings together.
I always like the idea of sitting down and going through Gravity Falls again, because that's just,
that would be good.
It's a good show, and it's short, and it
it's 2 seasons.
It's just a good show. Yeah, 2 seasons.
Just 2 seasons. Yeah.
I was gonna say like I've enjoyed going back through these tapes, especially this one, because it just brought me a lot of nostalgia from that episode. But I don't know. It's like you said, I've thought of that exact thought before. It's like I love the SpongeBob games and I love talking about them, but I've rewatched the movie. I just can't bring myself to sit down and watch through a bunch of the show unless it's on one of these tapes.
Yeah, I think that's the reason. Like we've watched it so much, and so much of our adult life has been about talking about it.
Exactly. Because I mean, when I was a kid, I was like, I thought I was the biggest SpongeBob fan there was. Like I was obsessed with the show.
I think I would still consider myself probably in like the top 1% of fans for the reason that I love everything up to season 8. Like I enjoy all those other seasons, which very few other people do.
It's kind of like the same thing that I said a couple weeks ago, that I talk about games more than I actually consume games. I like the culture of SpongeBob and being in, like the history of SpongeBob and the what it represents. Like it's the respect that I have for it or whatever. That's not the word, but
yeah. I think a part of that comes from, both of our interests is through storytelling. So it's through presenting information to other people and making videos and all that. You can't do that with a show. Firstly through copyright, but also it's all been categorized and recorded, and like all the information is out there.
And it's like
it's not like there's a news discovery that's going to happen.
Exactly. It's like, what's the point? There's actually
Whereas with a video game, it's like no one's talked about this development. No one's talked about this. There's something I can say here, something I can do here.
But yeah, it's like there's nothing. I don't have anything to say about the show. There's nothing. I mean, we've talked about the specials. I guess that's something that is kind of interesting about it that we could maybe go in depth on. I'd like to maybe do a video about the house party episode or the BC episode, but I don't want to like go through and be like SpongeBob season 1, 2, 3. There's no reason to do that. At least as far as like an in-depth documentary goes, I don't think there's any reason to do that. It's probably been done.
Yeah, and that's why I like the podcast format of like I can discuss this specific part of this episode that I really like without having to do this big deep dive, the effort of a video, and then use my time a bit wisely for other stuff. Do we have anything else that we had to talk about?
I was just going to bring up, I was going to say, if you guys haven't put 2 and 2 together, we recorded 2 episodes in a row. For a while we were changing shirts.
I was thinking about that a second ago.
We stopped doing that. We stopped caring. Sometimes we just record 1 episode. Sometimes we're like, I have enough energy. Let's crank out 2. I was gonna say we already kind of talked about stories from the week last episode. So technically, stories haven't changed. One thing I forgot to bring up last episode was I was going through my closet. I went out into our shed and started pulling in old boxes, and I was going through artifacts from my past. It had me self-reflecting about my life. When I say artifacts, I'm like talking about like love notes from girlfriends of the past, and that had me wondering, Chester, did you have any girlfriends of the past?
No, I just dated Danae for 7 years.
Holy moly!
Yeah.
When did you meet her?
We were both 16, so in high school. And she lived in a different state, so it was very difficult. And
Australia
very
has states?
Yeah, Australia's bigger than America, dude. What are you talking about?
I don't think that's true. Hold on. See square mileage of Australia versus
square mileage. Let's do kilometers.
No, screw you. I'm American brained. Dang it.
Okay. The US spans approximately 9.8 million square miles. Australia covers about 7.7 million square miles, so we're a bit smaller.
Huh. Well, I just never heard of like.
Get back in your place.
I've never heard of Australia having states.
Yeah, we've only got a few, but yeah. So
I thought that would be a more interesting story, I guess, because it's like I had like notes from like 5 or 6 different girls, and you're like,
player,
no, just my wife, 7 years.
What a player! Guys, real quickly, end of the episode. Join the channel membership. It's like $2.50 a month, and you get access to a Discord, emojis. Heaps of different stuff, and your name will be put up on the credits at the end of every investigation. And
we should film
thank you.
Like a 90s style commercial, like really loud and obnoxious.
Do you know the one of like the SpongeBob like on the VHS ones where he's doing like the moonwalk and it's the whoosh, whoosh.
Now on DVD.
Yeah,
SpongeBob second season. SpongeBob second.
That could actually, honestly though, I would love to do a DVD release. A DVD release of like one of our investigations or something for like if we got like a heap of members. Like we're gonna do a DVD release of merch for our investigations. Whoever is the 100th member gets Who Needs Normal's Buzz Lightyear.
No. I'll give you the horror potato head toy. Not really. But,
Oh.
You'll get the light bright I built live on stream. It hasn't moved. It stayed down in that corner.
So I can stay in the corner. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us for another episode of what's the show called? Bikini Bottom Inquirer?
Bikini Bottom Inquisition.
The Inquisition. Welcome back to the Inquisition, gamers. We will see you next week Keep an eye out. I think Investigation will have already come out, so next week we will be chatting about the Inquisition and going into some of the details. Don't drink the...
Fun again with my cartoon friends, no classmates anyway. To hell with that, cause I was hanging with who I thought was cool. All the Ed, wait, who was who? Went up to Scooby-Doo and following Blue's Clues, looking at Cosmos, breaking all the rules like Hey Arnold. Yeah, that's my shit.